All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down something so many people find frustrating, being stuck in the friend zone. And based on what our source material tells us, we'll look at how you can actually change that dynamic.
So have you ever been in that spot, stuck in the friend zone for months, maybe even years? You feel like it's just impossible to get out. Well, you're definitely not alone. But here's a question. Have you ever really stopped to think about why you're there in the first place? Because the reason you're stuck, well, it's probably not what you think it is.
Okay, so first things first, we've got to get one really crucial point straight. What our source material points out is that guys often, without even realizing it, put themselves in the friend zone. See, it's not some random thing that just happens to you. It's actually the result of using a strategy that's, well, it's completely wrong from the get-go.
And here's the biggest mistake of all. Thinking you can win someone over like you're in a job interview. You lay out your resume, I'm loyal, I'm a great listener, I'm financially stable. You're hoping she'll look at the list and logically decide, yep, I should be attracted to this person. But that's just not how attraction works, at all.
Okay, so if logic is totally the wrong tool for the job, what's the right one? Well, to figure that out, we got to dive into the messy, fascinating, and, often contradictory world of human attraction. It's really all about the battle between the head and the heart, what someone thinks they want versus what they actually instinctively respond to.
And this is where it gets really interesting. Check out the contradiction here. If you ask a woman to describe her perfect man on paper, she'll probably list things like responsible, kind, a great listener, all the good stuff. But then, ask her to describe the last guy she was just wildly, intensely passionate about, the guy who maybe broke her heart. You'll find those two lists almost never match.
So what does that tell us? The key takeaway here is that attraction is an instinct. It's not logical. It's this deep, unconscious, emotional gut reaction. It's not a spreadsheet with a pros and cons column. You just can't reason someone into feeling that spark for you.
And that right there brings us to the core of the nice guy mistake. A lot of guys will use all these friendly, helpful behaviors, hoping that being nice will eventually lead to romantic attraction. But the irony is, those are the exact behaviors that cement their place as just a friend. Yeah, and this table really breaks it down perfectly. On one side, you've got friend behaviors. Stuff like helping her move her couch, being her 24/7 therapist, you know the drill. Now, these are awesome things for a friend to do. They build trust, they build gratitude, but what they don't build is desire. Then on the other side, you have lover behaviors. This is the stuff that creates that spark, that tension, that excitement. Playfully teasing, having strong opinions, being a leader. See the difference? One is safe, the other is exciting.
So here's the bottom line. Just because she genuinely likes you, she enjoys your company, she thinks you're a great person, that does not mean she feels that physical romantic spark of attraction. They are two totally different things. Approval is not attraction. Okay, so we've diagnosed the problem. What's the solution? Well, getting out of the friend zone is not about doubling down on being nice. It's not about trying to convince her even harder that you're a great guy. It's about a total shift. It's about changing your own behavior to spark a completely different kind of feeling in her. So instead of trying to be Mr. Agreeable and constantly seeking her approval, the focus has to turn inward. It's all about you. It's about developing those traits that are just universally attractive. Having your own purpose in life that's bigger than just her, being emotionally stable, having that playful humor. It's not about changing for her. It's about leveling up for yourself.
All right, let's make this super practical. Our source gives a great example of how this plays out in a real, everyday conversation. It seems simple, but the way you respond says everything.
So you see the two paths here, right? The nice guy response is classic. You look gorgeous. It's safe, it's a compliment, and it's looking for approval. It keeps you right there in that friend role. Now the attractive response, I don't know whether to laugh or cry. Obviously this is a joke. It's playful teasing. But what does it do? It shows confidence. It's unpredictable. It creates that fun, back-and-forth tension that is the absolute bedrock of attraction. Okay, and this is super important to get. This is not about learning a few cheesy pickup lines or some kind of magic trick. That's not authentic, and it won't work. This whole thing is about a gradual, genuine process of changing yourself for the better. It's about self-improvement, not about manipulating someone else.
And you know what? The whole game changes when your goal is no longer to conquer her or win her over. The real goal is to become a man with options. A man who is so focused on his own life, his own mission, his own social circle, that he needs her approval less. And paradoxically, the less you need it, the more likely you are to get it.
So, what does this transformation journey actually look like in practice? Our source kind of breaks it down into a few steps. First, you got to stop the bleeding. Eradicate those needy behaviors, always being available, always agreeing with everything. Next, you start building. You actively work on developing those attractive traits we talked about: humor, courage, leadership. And this one is huge. You build an abundant social life. You meet other people. You have things going on. And then the last step, you just live. You let her notice the changes on her own time.
And look, this is not a quick fix. It's not going to happen overnight. The best analogy is like a friend who starts going to the gym. You don't see a difference day to day. It's so subtle. But then 6 months later, you look at them and you're like, whoa, your whole perception of them has changed. It's that slow, steady burn.
See, the whole point isn't to act like an attractive guy. The point is to actually become a more confident, centered, interesting person. And when that happens, attraction just follows. It's not something you have to hunt for or force. It becomes the natural side effect of who you've become.
So that really leaves you with one final question to ask yourself. Are you playing the game to be liked, or are you playing to be desired? Because as we've just broken down, those are two completely different paths. And based on this framework, they lead to two completely different destinations. Thanks for tuning in to The Explainer.